Okay? And I had a couple of you guys looked at it and said, hey, I might be able to help you out. I went down here, I shouldn't tell you where I went, but it was Florida Tire and Goodyear next to Sonny's. And I pulled in there and they looked at my car and they says $2,480 to fix it. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna lose some weight. I drove that stupid car for 10 weeks in Florida with no air conditioning. And one day Jackie walks into me and she goes, I was talking to Dave, he's over in Europe somewhere. And she said, Dave said, have you checked the Freon? I'm like, no, you can't do that. And Jackie says, well, you can go get it like at Car Place or Walmart. I said, you can't get Freon. And Dave tells her, he says, yeah, you can get a certain kind. I'm like, I can't. No, you can't. She goes, you call Rob Ball and you find out. So I called Rob Ball. I said, dude, Jackie's husband's telling me that I can pick up Freon down at the Car Place. He goes, yeah, you can. It's R whatever, 49 million, and R27. I don't know what it is. And I don't care. Okay? But here's the thing. Rob says, look, basically what he said was, look, moron, bring the car in and let me look at it. Okay? I don't even know where the air conditioner is. I know it's the button. Alright? And I can tell you when it works, and I can tell you when it doesn't work. That's it. But that's why God has people like Rob. So I go down to see Rob, and we test it, put it on the computer. He helps me out, does some little fancy gizmo thing. And dude, I got to wear a coat in my car now. It's so cold. And I went back to Goodyear. And I stood in the lobby of that store while there were people sitting in there. And I said, I want you to know that you gave me an estimate of $2,480 to fix my car, and it was fixed for $25. Because the compressor wasn't bad, the blower wasn't bad, there was nothing wrong with my car, it just needed Freon. Okay, I'm not ever going to fix my car. I'm not ever going to change the oil in my car. And I'm not going to learn how to do my bushes and that really cool thing. It's not my thing. That's really stupid on my part. I'm smart enough to figure out how to do the bushes, but I don't want to, because I don't want to grow up. That's silly. I don't know when the last time was somebody in your family had an immunization. Maybe you had a flu shot recently. And the doctor will always tell you, parents, that your child over the next couple days may have a low-grade fever, and the area may become reddened or raised because of where we put the injection. And it's not because they put into you the antidote. It's because when you get a flu shot, they actually inject you with a little bit of the flu virus. And the virus comes into your body in a certain size and shape. Pretty cool, huh? I can't trim bushes, but I can make power. And then what happens is the white blood cells in your body also create an antibody which match up with the virus exactly. The exact opposite. That's why every year you have to have a new flu shot, because they tell you there's a new strain. There's actually a new shape. That's what that means. And so your body comes in and encapsulates the virus and renders it harmless to your body forever, because you've built up a resistance. You and I are full of viruses that come into our lives every day, and until we match up with something, a behavior, an attitude, a discipline, to match up with that behavior, it will forever bug you and ultimately can kill you. That's the facts. Am I lying? No. I'm telling you the truth. These things come in every day, and we have the opportunity to deal with it, to get some help, to deal with it. And if we don't, ultimately, that virus continues to run its course in our lives. And what I have in my life is a stubborn refusal to grow up. And the part that's really weird, I'm kind of proud of it. Until you say it out loud. Hi, I'm ignorant, I'm proud of it. That's not real smart. See, when you actually say it out loud, it really sounds pretty foolish. And so you and I have a choice to make. It's either deal with it or continue to struggle with the same thing forever and ever and ever, and to continue to pay the price personally, in my family, in my church, in my community, until somebody somewhere says, enough is enough. The definition of insanity is to do the same thing you've always done and do it over and 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 expect somehow all of a sudden to be a different result. I am so sick of that in my life. I am so sick of it. I got so many little tiny basic things that I got to deal with because they're dealing with me instead of me dealing with them. Maybe that's where you're at. So how do we get past this stuff? Sounds easy. The first thing is we need to keep a biblical perspective of things. And the biblical perspective is everybody has problems. True. That's a biblical perspective. However, biblical perspective is based on truth, not feelings. I love Oprah. I love Dr. Phil. I love all those people. But you know what? They all deal with feelings. They don't always deal with what's true. Okay? And what I'm trying to tell you is it's important that when you look at a situation and you're panicked, or you're worried, or you're fretful, or you're excited, okay, all those things, you got to pay attention to what's the truth, not just how you feel at the moment, because your feelings will lie to you. I've said this to you before. Remember when you were in love in the 4th grade? No, you weren't. But you thought you weren't. Okay? Because your feelings lie. The second thing is, you got to realize, I have to realize, that at some point, you're going to have to ask for help. You're going to have to ask for help. Maybe you need to talk to a counselor. Maybe you need a therapist. Maybe you need an accountant. Maybe you need a business person. Maybe you need a doctor. Maybe you need an attorney. But the fact is that sooner or later, you got to come to the place where you got to go get some help. Because you have two choices. You can submit to the lesson forever, or you can submit to a teacher who can help you deal with the lesson. That's your choice. That's my choice. Find somebody who's an expert who knows how to fix an air conditioner. Or I can just sweat. So I can either submit to the air conditioner that's broken, or I can submit to the knowledge of someone who's an expert who in a few moments solved my problem. And the third thing is, you and I have got to not just know the truth, we have to live our lives by the truth. We've got to quit living our lives by what we consider to be true, and we've got to act and believe and live in a way that is based on what is really true. Because inside of every lie, there's a shred of truth. Every lie has just a little bit of truth. Remember the story with the snake and Adam and Eve in the garden? What did he say? Oh, no, God, no, he's on mine. Okay? Well, God didn't mind that you ate all of that, but he minded that you touched that. A little bit of lie, a little bit of truth, mix it up. It gets confusing for people. I lived my life for 40 years. Afraid of a lie. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard this analogy, but a lie is to give something that's small a big shadow. It's like having a mouse and shining a flashlight on it, and the mouse on the wall is 12 feet tall, but it's just a mouse. And I lived my life in fear. It's something that many of you would also say. But I lived my life for 40 years, 20 of it almost in ministry, believing this, that if everybody knew the real me, nobody'd like me. It's a very common fear that if the whole world knew who I really was, they wouldn't like me. And there's a part of that that's true. But we all have things we've done and said we wish we wouldn't have done. Amen? Right? We all have things that we hope doesn't end up on, the World Wide Web, and front page this, and on CNN and Fox and all the rest, right? Okay, however, I spent the first 20 years of my ministry trying to get people to like me. I would do whatever it took to get people to like me and to notice me. And I would work hard, and I would build ministries, and I would build my own little kingdom, hoping that people would see that it was me doing it. I would travel around and speak. And the first 8 or 9 years of my speaking career, I really wanted the people to like me. And this is what happened. I was at a school in Chicago, Illinois, and I walked in and I sat down in front of this group of junior high students. And when I sat on the stool, I started my little thing, and these kids started throwing things at me. They weren't throwing paper wads, people. They were throwing coins, pencils, anything they could find while I'm speaking. Never happened to me before. And I'm standing there, and I'm being pelted by this stuff, and I sat down on the stool, and I continued to get hit by this stuff, and I remember having a conversation with God, and I said, God, this isn't fair. I'm here trying to help these kids. And I don't have this happen very often.